The Whitebridge Condominium Association, based in Marlton, New Jersey, has been at the center of a series of controversies concerning governance practices, election integrity, and financial management. Numerous residents have raised serious concerns regarding the leadership of the association, particularly under the presidency of Gloria Damiani, who has held power for over 2 decades. This report aims to highlight the key issues that have surfaced over the years, detailing the mismanagement, alleged unethical practices, and the systemic manipulation that appears to have permeated the administration. Gloria Damiani has been the president of the Whitebridge Condominium Association for over 20 years, a tenure that has been marked by a series of disputes and allegations. During her time, multiple board members have resigned, raising concerns over leadership stability and transparency. Many residents have accused the board of unethical behavior, including election irregularities, misuse of funds, and abuse of authority. Residents have described the association as a cash cow for those in power, as revealed in internal communications. There are allegations that certain contracts and services are traded based on personal favors rather than competitive bidding. This has reportedly led to inefficient use of community funds and has fostered an environment where dissent is actively discouraged. The elections held in 2023 and 2024 were marred by numerous claims of irregularities. Non-anonymous voting. According to resident testimonies, ballots were not kept anonymous. This is against New Jersey law, which mandates that ballots in community association elections must be cast anonymously to protect voters from retaliation. Emails from concerned residents have confirmed that names and unit numbers were being requested on the ballots, which raised fears of voter intimidation and retaliation. A resident noted, "I want to vote for you, but I'm terrified of being retaliated against if the current board members win." Failure to adhere to Radburn rules, the Radburn Law, which governs community association elections in New Jersey, sets out requirements for fair elections, including proper notification, anonymous voting, and term limits. Reports suggest that the board's actions violated these regulations. For instance, Gloria Damiani has continued to serve as president well beyond the usual term limits, without proper community vote or transparency. Lack of public vote counting. In both the 2023 and 2024 election cycles, votes were not counted publicly. This has led to accusations of vote manipulation and rigging. Residents were not given the opportunity to witness the counting, raising further concerns about the fairness of the elections. Questionable appointment practices. The case of Diane Kulesa's appointment to the board in 2024 has sparked outrage. Diane was appointed 6 months after the resignation of the vice president, John Taylor, without a proper election. According to residents, Dan Coulter was a write-in candidate who should have been seated but was bypassed in favor of Diane, who is seen as a close ally of Gloria. This appointment was seen as an attempt to maintain control and avoid the democratic process. There have been multiple red flags concerning the financial health and practices of the association. Excessive legal spending. Several reports and testimonies indicate that significant portions of the budget are being allocated to legal expenses. Christie, a resident, pointed out that Gloria appears to leverage the association's legal resources to intimidate and silence opposition. Reliance on fines. The association's budget reportedly includes projected income from fines, which is a sign of financial distress and mismanagement. The fines often target new residents or those perceived as dissenters, effectively turning them into a tool for revenue generation and intimidation. Insufficient reserves. The auditor's reports have indicated a going concern issue, which means there is substantial doubt about the association's ability to continue functioning without addressing its financial issues. This could lead to further financial instability and increased dues for residents, despite promises to the contrary. The association has not raised dues in over 10 years, forcing Gloria to rely on other means, such as fines and fees, to cover budgetary gaps. Intimidation and retaliation. There are numerous accounts from residents who have experienced intimidation and harassment. Residents who have spoken out against the board's practices have faced various forms of retaliation. In one case, John Taylor, the vice president, filed a harassment charge against a resident, which was perceived as a tactic to silence criticism. There is also concern that complaints lead to fines and other punitive actions, rather than being addressed in good faith. Many residents have expressed fear of participating in elections or voicing their opinions due to possible retaliation. This fear is exacerbated by the knowledge that votes are not anonymous, leading to a chilling effect on free speech within the community. One anonymous email highlighted the anxiety residents feel, stating, "If the board refuses to comply, the New Jersey courts can step in and oversee a new election." Conflict of interest and favoritism. The governance issues at Whitebridge also extend to alleged conflicts of interest. Reports indicate that some contractors have personal ties to board members and have been exchanging services as a form of bartering. A landscaper described the association as a cash cow because of favorable deals and backdoor agreements. This not only raises ethical questions, but also puts the community's financial health at risk. Residents have observed that certain long-term board members are willing to bypass regulations and enforce rules selectively, creating an environment of favoritism and corruption. Legal representation and changes. The association's legal representation has seen significant turnover. Gary Zangerly, the longtime attorney, stepped down and was succeeded by David DeHaan, and later, Andrew Unterlach. The frequent changes in legal counsel could be indicative of internal conflicts or dissatisfaction, but it has also led to confusion among residents about who to approach with legal concerns. Conclusion and call to action. The situation at Whitebridge Condominium Association is a clear example of what can happen when community governance goes unchecked. The issues described here, ranging from election fraud, financial mismanagement, intimidation, favoritism, and legal manipulation, point to a systemic problem that requires immediate attention. Residents have begun to speak out, but many fear retribution. Transparency and accountability must be reinstated, and a call to action is necessary. Filing formal complaints with the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, seeking legal intervention, and organizing a community coalition are critical steps that must be taken. Only by standing together can the residents of Whitebridge hope to reclaim their community and ensure that it is governed fairly and transparently. This report is intended to serve as a comprehensive account of the concerns facing Whitebridge Condominium Association. The issues described herein reflect testimonies from residents, documented communications, and legal observations. Immediate action is needed to address these systemic failures and restore trust within the community.